Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board.
Thank you, Leanne and councillors, for the opportunity to present our report to you this morning. We have one Part A recommendation. Do you want me to start with that?
Sure.
That is the naming of and classifications of some reserves in our ward. One of them has been held over until the naming of a school in a close proximity to that is being sorted. So other than that, I'm happy to present our Part A to you, and then.
Well, look, why don't we just deal with that first? Whose ward does this fall into? Jimmy Chen? Jimmy Chen moved, seconded, and is there any discussion around that? Put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. It's carried. Very good. Now on to your report.
The report is the decisions under delegation. Of course, we've got quite a lot of funding applications, and also we had the Denton Park changes in reserve classification management plan, which has been progressed with the addition of two amendments by way of addition, number 5 and number 6, that we extend the time, put the time consultation period out till after the festive season. And the other is that while this process and consultation is underway, that there be more negotiation and consultation with the sports clubs, and also the traffic engineering issues to be done at that similar time. So that's what we're asking for.
Yep.
And then that's the footprint. As you can see, it's quite a substantial area. Moving on then to significant community issues, we've got the Upper Riccarton War Memorial Library is, thank you Gary, has been shut. So that's a bit of a, sort of came out of left field quite quickly. So that's something that's a work in progress, trying to sort out the loss of not only a building that had quite a lot of community use, but also a war memorial. That we've got 2 of them in our areas that are under threat. There's this one, of course, in the Aldhurst War Memorial Hall. What have we got next there, Gary?
Moving on to Templeton Community Days.
Oh yes, Templeton Community Day, and that's, I think it's in its 10th or 11th year now, isn't it, Jimmy? Pretty sure it is. So that's something that's gone from strength to strength, and very, very well attended. So and I had the pleasure of judging the colouring in competition. 2nd year in a row. So that was, and the other thing that was really, really good there was the petting zoo, where they bring the animals along, and you can actually, young people and old people can actually go and pet them and talk to them, and they had goats on leads being led around the event. All that sort of thing was really, 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 really good. And the local school band performing as well, which was really good in the hall. So, and it's something that we're very, very pleased to support. And the Riccarton Community Street Party, wow, well that was a really, really biggie. That was a real biggie, as you can see there. And such a lot of work involved in setting it up. But anyway, absolutely 100% worth it when you see all the ethnicities and the ages of people there, and the neighbourliness of all the people that live in around that area as well, taking part in it, is just wonderful. and the university and school students pitching their ideas. This was funded by our community board, so we're just looking to see what sort of wonderful ideas we can get from our university, and it's a bit like the program that Donald Trump used to run, didn't he?
He ran a few, didn't he? That was the apprentice youth thing.
Yeah. You just don't get to say you're fired at any point.
That's right.
You just say thank you for your wonderful idea.
Yeah, that's the one. So anyway, changing the subject, getting back to the Christmas Carol events are underway now. So that's probably not unique to our ward, but we do have some lovely venues for those very enjoyable opportunities for people to go out and test their vocal cords. And this month's hyper helpful random facts is the Riccarton Racecourse Tea House. And Mick Connolly, back in the day, some of you will remember the Right Honourable Mick Connolly, who was the Member of Parliament for this area. He actually started working with the Riccarton Racecourse trustees on restoring the very, very derelict tea house at Riccarton, and our community board was asked to help support that, and we formed a trust, charitable trust, and I was fortunate enough to be a trustee of that and worked through the restoration of that very, very fine restored tea house, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And the history of that, of course, is it was a haven for the women back in the day who weren't allowed to go to the bar and the stands, but they could go and have a cup of tea in the tea house. So anyway, that was really good. But Leslie Keast was on it as well. Absolutely, thank you. Leslie and I were both on that trust, and she was also became the first female member of the Riccarton Racecourse Trust. And Bob Shearing's, our ex-city councillor, is still a member of the Riccarton Racecourse Trust. But the Tea House Restoration Trust was of course a separate trust. But that's very, very, very well utilised. Our community board actually hold our some of our events in there, our community service awards and Community Pride Garden Awards and things like that, so it's a lovely setting. And of course it was used as it's been used as a hospital, and it was also used as a barracks for people departing to World War II, and then it became derelict unfortunately after that, and Mick Connolly thought he better do something about it, so inspired the community and our community board. So that's a project that we're very, very pleased to be involved in.
Just need to change that date to the 15th of February.
Oh, yes, the Riccarton Road Corridor, that's right, 5.2 or 5.2.1, thanks Gary, is the date of the report on the Riccarton Road Corridor is not coming to our community board on the 12th of December. It is now going to be the 15th of February 2018.
Just on your hyper helpful random fact, are you planning to have a 115th anniversary and a 10-year since it reopened function next year, just to celebrate?
What a good idea, Leanne.
I have them from time to time.
Absolutely, we can make that happen, can't we, Gary?
We sure can.
I just think it'd be quite nice.
Of course we can.
I haven't looked at what the 3rd of December was, and I don't know what its original opening date was, but if you could find something that links with either or both of those, that would be cool. Anyway.
Very observant. I did.
Yes.
I did, indeed.
Jimmy Chen would like to move this, and seconded by Anne Galloway.
I have 2 questions.
You have 2 questions? Okay.
Yes, okay. I ask two questions? One is on 6.2.2. What is update the status? Because regarding to the Upper Riccarton Memorial Library, they did have this community the kind of a meeting. You know? I just want to know for the future option. You know?
I did have a quick update, Jimmy, last Monday morning. That meeting took place on Saturday.
Yes.
I wasn't at the meeting. I would have loved to have been there, but I wasn't.
Okay.
But the outcome is that there's some more talk going on with the trust and the trustees,
Yes.
and Ranadale and other community people that were at that meeting. So it's an ongoing process, Jimmy. So there's been no final decision made on that yet.
Okay. Thank you. Second question is on paragraph 6.4. I just want to know, because in the Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton, the resident the community board, we have quite a few resident association. But what's the rationale? You particularly emphasize these two resident association only. This is my question.
Well, one of them, I'll go, Gary. One of the reasons for the Stedman group is they've been around for a while, but they just sort of pop up. But what they needed to do now with the development that's happening, the new residential development on the land that was formerly Riccarton Racecourse land, or Riccarton Racecourse Trust land, is they feel that they want to reactivate their residents group association and be more proactive in the process of the development of that area surrounding their resident association. And the other one was the Island Upper Riccarton Resident Association was sort of heading for decline, and they felt that they needed to put out some feelers in the community, and they got 40-odd people at the meeting, and they've got a strong committee up and running again now. So why those two were mentioned is one's been in recess and has bounced back to be active, and the other one was heading for decline, and that's now been reactivated. And we're very, very grateful for all the resident associations in our area, but just particularly named those two because of the situations that they've been in. And I just take on board what one of the other community boards are doing, and that's having a meeting with the chairs of all our residents associations at least once a year, I'd like to think. So that's something that we'll certainly look into, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
I think it's important also to say, Jimmy, that without the staff input into the other one, it was about to fold, and Marie went out and met with them, did a great job. And to get 40 people out of one meeting to put their hand up when we had nobody just showed all that group needed was someone to walk with them, walk alongside them, and Marie did a great job. So they're back stronger, and they're really appreciative of it. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good. Right, well, we have a resolution in front of us. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to you and everybody. And just remember that it's all about peace and love and goodwill. And I think there's a fair bit of that around, but I'm just a bit worried about how much goodwill we've got around it sometimes. It's just we need to be really conscious of that at this time of the year. Thank you.
I'll be grateful that we're not in America. There we go.